I wanted to know. I mean, I'm also a father.
Sorry.
Yeah. You already have been through this, but how do you raise bilingual children? Because I think they're fully bilingual right now, right?
They're totally bilingual. I mean, they and their friends all say their German is worse than their English. They went to a bilingual school.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I think I'm not a scientist. I'm not a linguist, but I think the key was just speaking. My wife spoke German with them. I spoke English with them.
Mm-hmm.
And their whole childhood, because they would say like, they would talk to their mom, and they'd turn around and talk to me, and they would say the same thing they say to their mom in German, they say to me in German, and I would say, I don't understand you. How does dad say that? And I kept waiting for them to go, hey, dad, I just heard you speaking German to mom. But their heads, I didn't speak. And even now, they're 19 and 20. It is weird to speak German with them.
Mm-hmm,
It's like super awkward. So we just did it. And it was, back then, nobody spoke German in Berlin. I mean, nobody spoke English. Sorry, nobody spoke English.
Okay.
Nobody spoke English. So I felt really like a total angebe, like a total poser. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I speak English.
Yeah.
It was awkward, but I just did it. I thought it was important that they become bilingual.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, is your partner what?
She's German.
Yeah.
And we're trying to teach them Spanish, but it's not going very well.
He's failing. He's talking
I'm
to him
failing.
in
I'm
German.
failing.
I think you got to do it one, just consequent as a German. So you got to really do it. And they won't get it at first. Like our kids didn't get it. They're like, why should I learn to speak English? You could tell they didn't get it. But then we went to America and visited family. And then, the family's like getting out presents and like, oh, you're the grandkids. And then suddenly they were like, oh, wow.
Okay.
This is why we speak English.
To get presents.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. That's what I felt like. They were like, oh, if we want something from great grandma, then we're going to have to speak English. Bilingual people have this a lot. Like a lot of things, and even in my brain, they're separate. Like baby clothes, baby equipment is for me all in German.
Okay.
I had no idea. It's called a onesie, I think. They're called a body in German, like those little one things that babies have.
Yeah.
Like for years, I did not know what that was called in English. I didn't know. So I think your brain compartmentalizes stuff in languages. And for my kids, they might have even like realized that I was speaking German, but in their brains, I just spoke English.
Okay.
Yeah.
And even one time we were in Colorado in the mountains, and we were in this hot springs, and this like super cowboy dude comes, like a hardcore cowboy, like a real cowboy.
On a horse.
Basically, like I wouldn't be surprised if he parked his cowboy out front.
Okay.
And so then I switched to German to say to my kid, like, "Wow, check out the cowboy," And you've seen something like that. And he goes, "Dad, why are you talking to me in German?" Like the cowboy was like, "Oh, you're talking about me." Like, well, they had like there's kind of a bullying culture in German culture, like older people love to tell kids they're doing something wrong. Like they love to like that. I mean, Germans love to tell people they're doing something
exactly.
wrong. Yeah, and kids even more because they have the power advantage,
Yeah.
And often on the subway, my daughter speaks way too loud. It annoys me, but I had to like, whatever, I let her do it. She's a kid. She can do whatever she wants. And she talks too loud. And so they would annoy people in the subway, and they would be speaking English. So the people next to them would start complaining to each other in German about the kids. And then the kids would then switch and say, hey, wir verstehen euch now.
In your face.
Yeah, totally. And then, I mean, they were born and raised here, so they're Berliners too, They're not
They have the Berliner Schnauze.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I mean, they do. Yeah.